Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Quicksilver and Aggression against Expert Klaw. So pull up a chair and let's see if he can do this. All right, so today we do have Quicksilver and Aggression against Expert Klaw, and I've got everything set up. I've got the two side schemes out with 3 on each one of them like I'm supposed to. The Armored Guard came out as the minion that was discarded to put into play. And Quicksilver's deck's been shuffled. I got my starting hand. I'm going to do the mulligan. And I do like a lot of what I have. And in fact, I'm going to keep Strength and Piercing Strike so that I can get rid of this Armored Guard right now. But I really want to dig for friction resistance, one of his upgrades, because that's a key part, I think, of what Quicksilver does, and it works very well with Always Be Running, which is a hero action to ready Quicksilver. And so I really want to dig for that, but I'm going to keep these two here, and I think discard the other 4 to see if I can't get friction resistance or something else. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And now I'm going to use his ability to discard 2 cards and draw 2. I don't need Moment of Triumph yet because he doesn't need to heal. And I'll get rid of Earth's Mightiest Heroes because I don't have an Avengers ally in play. And I'll draw up 2 more. So there's 1, 2. All right, well, that's my starting hand. That's what I have to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to use Piercing Strike to with Strength to deal 3 damage to this Armored Guard, and Piercing Strike. Piercing is one of the newer keywords that came in with Rise of the Red Skull, I think it is, where you remove the tough first and then deal the damage. So that 1 card can get rid of this Armored Guard. And then after your hero attacks and defeats an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. I'm going to use that. Remove 2 threat, I guess, from Defense Network, put 1 here. And then I can put Wasp in. I can only put her in with 1 hit point because when Wasp enters play, place 1 Pim count. Okay, let me try this again. When Wasp enters play, place 1 Pim counter on her to a maximum of 3 for each energy resource you overpaid for Wasp cost. Okay, because she's a cost of 0. So I could put her in, but I'd only be able to put her in for 1. So she's either going to just hit for 3 or be a blocker. And I think I will put her in. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to flip the Quicksilver to be able to do the Piercing Strike. So sorry about that. I forgot to flip over to hero side, but we'll just pretend I did it before I did the Piercing Strike. That should take care of it. Not a big deal. So I did that. I'm going to put Wasp in with this Moment of Triumph. The energy resource here. She'll get 1 hit point. I think I'm just going to use her to block for me. But then I'm going to have Quicksilver thwart for 1 to get rid of Defense Network. And then I'll ready him. And I'm using this little green token to remind myself that I've used his ability. So he's ready. And I'm going to thwart again for 1 to drop this down to 2. And that's it. We'll ready and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. 2 threat on the main scheme because we have the Immortal Klaw still in the game. And he'll attack. I'll have Wasp take it. It's for 1. Oh, by the way, I can take this off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's Shadow of the Past. So I'm glad I did that. He would have taken quite a bit of damage. And then the encounter card is Assault. So he's going to get attacked anyway. But I will defend this. He attacks for 1. Weapons Runner comes in, but it won't surge because he's not coming in as being revealed. He's coming in as a boost. So 1 damage still. This was 1 boost card. And 2, 3, 4. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. So he's going to drop down from 9 to 6. And this Weapons Runner won't, and I'm going to bring him back up. So I use his ability in the villain phase. And this Weapon Runner comes in for 2, and he won't attack because he came out as a boost during the encounter phase. So his time to attack is over, and we're back to Quicksilver. All right, so back to Quicksilver. I think what I need to do here, I'm going to put maximum velocity in with She-Hulk, excuse me, and piercing strike. And by the way, this token can come off because I'm in a new phase. And I really would like to get combat training in, but I think for this, I do have another card. I have his regular card. It's like Reinforced Sinew, which gives a +1 attack, so I can get that in later, hopefully. So I'm going to probably be always be running this time, because I'm going to thwart for 1, 2, 3 to remove the Immortal Klaw. And that's going to drop him from 28 to 18. He's going to lose the 10 hit points it gave him. Then I'm going to use his regular ability to ready himself. So I've done that. And then I'm going to thwart for 3 on the main scheme to drop it back down to 0. And then I'm going to use Always Be Running to ready him and attack for 3 on the weapons runner to get him out of the game. And I don't get to do anything to Klaw, but we have a scheme that has nothing on it, and we have no minions out. And this could be a good turn, I guess, to flip and heal up next time, but I think I'm okay. I got 3 defense. I'm going to keep him as Quicksilver this turn, draw up, and then move to the villain phase. Okay, so the start of the villain phase, we got 1 threat that goes on the main scheme. He's going to do an attack. Quicksilver's going to defend. I got 3 defense, so he's got 1 still, 2, 3. So 3 to attack to 3 defense. I take no damage. I'll ready him and put that there to show that I've readied him. And he will caught off guard, discard an upgrade, or support you control. If no cards are discarded this way, this card gains Surge. Okay, this is an event, so I can't discard that. And the reason why I leave it in play is because I get the +2 defense until the end of the round. So I leave it in to remind myself, but it's not an event, it's not an upgrade, so that's going to gain Surge, and it's going to surge into Whirlwind. All right, so we have our first Masters of Evil minion in play. This will discard to the discard pile, and we're back to Quicksilver. Okay, I'm going to put in my Reinforced Sinew, because that's, like I said, I think that's maybe his most important upgrade. I don't know if it's the most important, but to me it's very important to get that in. So I'm going to put that in with Tigra, Double Time, and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And hold on to this maximum velocity. Maybe I can play that next time. And I'm going to thwart for 1 off the main scheme. And I know I still have 2 advances in the deck, but I think this is and he will scheme for 1. So maybe I should try to hold on. I don't know, he attacks for 2. The scheme may go off next time, but I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ready him, and then I'm going to flip. So I've used his ability to ready. I'm going to flip to his alter ego side and then heal for 3. And again, I know that there's going to be 1 threat here, and he's going to give a threat. So more than likely this will go off, but I think that's the best thing to do for right now. And so I'm going to ready and draw to 6. Okay, well, let's see what happens. 1 threat on the main scheme. He'll scheme for 2. Just for 2, discard 1 card at random from your hand. So I've got to do that real quick. So this is going to go up to 3. And then I'll do that in a minute. So I flip over here. Well, I flipped to heal. But I also flipped to get the 6 cards. And now I'm going to lose 1 because of Radioactive Man. But at least he's not coming into play. So let's see. I discard maximum velocity, which is what I didn't want to have happen. But nothing I can do about it. And excuse me. And so he's going to thwart for 1. So far, the scheme doesn't go off. We're good there still. But we have an encounter card, which is, of course, it's advanced. Of course it is. It can't be anything else. It has to be advanced when I flip to alter ego and when it doesn't go off in the normal villain phase. Well, it's going to go off now because he schemes for 2, 3, 4. And so that will advance. And then, of course, when revealed for Secret Rendezvous is you discard until you get a minion. So we'll discard. And we had a tough armored guard with tough. So very unfortunate. It always seems to work out no matter what I do when I flip. If he either advances it during his normal scheme or I get an advance. It seems to always happen that way. But Whatever. We'll just have to keep an eye on this scheme now and hope it doesn't go off. And we are back to his alter ego for Quicksilver. Okay, so I know the first thing I want to do is put in Reinforce Sinew. Let's move these down to give them extra attack. I'm going to do and use Genius to pay for that. But there is no threat on the scheme, so I do want to keep Into the Fray. So that I can, if I need to, I can, even though I won't be able to take threat off the scheme course, there's no threat, it does still 6 damage to a minion. It would get rid of Whirlwind. So I'm going to discard Accelerated Reflex and chase them down to see if I can't get a double resource or something else that may be better. See, 1, 2. Okay, well, there's a double resource. So I don't have to spend that and hold on to it next turn. Good. All right, so I'm going to flip to Quicksilver. And I'm going to use Reinforce or Friction Resistance for 1, and then 2, 3 from Energy to deal 6 damage to Whirlwind. Okay, and that's going to remove him from the game. All right, and then I'm going to attack for 2 to remove the tough off of Armored Guard. Then I'm going to ready Quicksilver and use the physical resource to put in Endurance, and I'll put it in over here, which will give me 3 hit points up to 12. So I'm glad I did that because I got rid of my defense, the card that gives me +1 defense, but I get +3 health. So that's a pretty good trade-off, and I wouldn't have been able to put that into play anyway, the defense upgrade. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I'm going to attack for 2 on the guard because that's the only person I can attack. Because he does have guard, but he drops into 1 hit point, and then I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay, so start of the main phase. We got 1 threat here. He's going to attack, so I'm going to have him defend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and give the villain a tough. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Dropping him back to his normal maximum, his usual maximum of 9. And Klaw gets a tough. And then I'm going to ready him. And just in case, I don't know if there's another assault in here. I think there is. So I'll just take the 1 damage from the guard. So if I need to, I can defend again. I mean, I do have some Always Be Running to get me ready, but I want to use those offensively. I don't want to use them just to get them up from defending twice. Let's see what the encounter is. Klaw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So I will get attacked. I will defend. It's for 1, 2, 3, and the weapons runner comes into play. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So just like that, I'm back down to 6. And the weapons runner comes in with 2 hit points, and it did deal damage to me. So place 1 threat on the scheme, and we are back to Quicksilver. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is play Always Be Running using Friction Resistance, and that lets me ready Quicksilver. And after you ready Quicksilver, you ready Friction Resistance. And so this is why that's a good thing, because you can ready him. You can use Friction Resistance to ready him with Always Be Running, and it lets you use his identity card over and over again. Plus, with the exhaust that I had to do, because I exhausted twice, I can still use his identity thanks to Always Be Running, and I didn't have to spend any other cards from here. I could use this resource to ready him. So anyway, that's a nice thing there. But I'm going to attack for 2. Go ahead and do it on the weapons runner, because I'm going to get them both out. It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to ready him with his normal activation and attack for 2 to get rid of this armored guard. I'm going to use Friction Resistance to pay for Always Be Running to ready Quicksilver again. And I want to be able to stun him this time because I don't want to have to flip yet, and I'm at 6 health. So I'm going to use the physical resource on Speed Cyclone to stun him. And then I'm going to hold on to these 2 because I'm hoping I can get both of them in. I definitely don't want to get rid of Yarnborn. And I would like to get this in to help with thwarting now that I'm on this side. So we'll leave those in. And then he's going to thwart for 1. off of the main scheme. Just drop it down as much as he can, and then I'll ready and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the villain phase. 1 here, and then he's stunned. And so the encounter card is Exhaustion. So, and I don't have any way to ready him next time, so that's unfortunate. But then that's going to surge into Need for Speed. Great. Well, I can't. So what this does is I can't get rid of it. I could flip to. I will go ahead and flip because I might be able to discard some cards. But Need for Speed. I have to take the worst effect. Exhaust your identity. You cannot ready your identity until your next turn ends. Discard this obligation. So I wasn't going to be able to do it anyway unless I could draw and always be running. But anyway, that's where it is, and we are back to him. And when we get back here, well, I flipped in case I wanted to discard some cards, but there's really nothing I want to discard. I want to get Hulk in so he can take a hit for me because I'm about to run out of my deck. I'm going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards. So I definitely don't want to get rid of Hulk and the power of aggression. And I think what I will do, though, is I'm going to use friction resistance because it's just a resource. It's not a hero resource. It's a hero response to ready it, but it's just a regular resource. So I'm going to use that to put in Serval Industries. And I'm going to take 2 Quicksilver cards from my discard pile, exhaust this, take 2 Quicksilver cards from my discard pile, and shuffle them back into my deck. And I decided to go with Speed Cyclone so I can stun them again, and also Accelerated Reflex just to help with my defenses. So I'm going to shuffle those back in. Alright, and then I'm going to flip to Quicksilver. And I'm going to put in Hulk over here with the power of aggression. And I think that's all I'm going to do because I can't ready friction resistance to put in anything else. And again, I want to keep both of these cards. I mean, I guess I could get rid of, I guess I could use Hyper Perception to get rid of Yarnbjorn. This will get shuffled back in soon. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold on to both of them and hopefully get them both in next time. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to ready and draw to 5. And I will not run out of my deck yet because I have 2 cards and I think 6 cards in here. So I won't run out of my deck this turn anyway. So I'll draw up to 5 and move to the villain phase. Okay, so start of the main villain phase, we put 1 threat here, goes up to 3. He's going to attack, but Hulk's going to take that. By the way, Hulk's got 5 hit points. He's going to attack for 1. There's advance, so we won't lose on this turn. Exhaust each ally you control. I've already done that. So he only takes 1 damage, so I can use him again next time. And, oh, by the way, this gets discarded too because the end of my turn. And then the encounter card is Master Plan. So I have to discard cards until I get a side scheme, which I don't think. Nope, there isn't any. But unfortunately, already with an acceleration token, and I haven't done any damage to him. But hopefully that's going to change here on this next turn. So I'm going to shuffle. I got the acceleration token. I'll shuffle the encounter card, and then we'll move to the back to my turn. Okay, so back to Quicksilver. The first thing I want to do is I do want to get Yarnbjorn into play. I'm going to put it over here using friction resistance. And then I'm going to put Spider Girl into play. And when she comes in, she can confuse a minion, but there aren't any. Confuse and stun a minion, but there aren't any. I'm going to put her in with power of aggression. Excuse me. And she'll come in with 2 hit points, and she's going to go ahead right away and attack for 2 to remove the tough off of Klaw. And I'm going to attack for 1, 2 on Klaw, finally doing some damage to him to drop him from 18 down to 16. And then I'm going to ready him with his regular ability. And I'm going to use friction resistance and accelerated reflex to put in Hyper Perception, which gives me a +1 thwart. And so I'm going to move, I got Endurance in play. I'm going to move it off screen a little bit so we can get everything else to fit a little better. And Quicksilver will thwart for 2, dropping it from 3 to 1 on the main scheme, and that's going to do it. So I will ready and draw up to 5. And I ran out of my deck, so I'm going to have to deal myself an encounter card, deal with 2 of those, and I'll shuffle my deck, and then draw up to 5 and move to the villain phase. Alright, so I've drawn back up to 5, so we'll go back to the villain phase. It goes from 1 up to 3. He's going to attack, but Spider-Girl's going to take it for me. He's going to attack for 1, 2, 3. If this activation deals damage to you, exhaust your hero, but it doesn't. It does the damage to her, so she's gone. And then I got to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one is Master Plan, so I got to discard cards until I get a side scheme. And that's just going to run through his deck faster. Let's see. Well, there's an advance. There it is. The Masters of Evil. And that comes in with 3. And also, I have to discard cards from the encounter deck until the Masters of Evil minion is discarded and put them into play. So discard more cards. And I've already got 1 acceleration token. And there's Radioactive Man. So he'll come in with 7. So a lot of cards just went in the discard pile, and I just reshuffled it. And then this one is Sonic Converter attached to Klaw, and after he attacks and damages a character, I stun the character. And he gets +1 attack. Alright, so there we are, and we are back to Quicksilver. Okay, I think what I'm going to do on Quicksilver's turns, I am going to take my chances with Hulk. I'm going to deal 3 damage to Radioactive Man, drop him from 7 to 4, and hope that he doesn't leave the game. And of course, he gets a mental resource, so he's gone. That always happens. But that's okay. So he's down to 4. And then I'm going to attack for 2 on Radioactive Man to drop him down to 2. But I'm not going to use physical resource for this, because I'm going to use friction resistance for 1, combat training for 2, Scarlet Witch for 3, so that I can do Into the Fray, which deals 6 damage to a minion for each point of excess damage dealt by this attack. Remove 1 threat from the scheme. So I'm going to deal 6. Oh, from the main scheme. Okay. So I didn't realize that, but I did know that, but I forgot. But anyway, that's what I do. So 6 to him. It's going to hit him for 2 with an overkill of 4, or excess damage of 4. So I'll be able to remove 3 from the main scheme. And I'm going to use my Moment of Triumph. After you attack and defeat an enemy, which Into the Fray was, heal 1 damage to your hero for each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy. So he's going to heal for 4, back up to 10. Alright, and I still can ready Quicksilver, and I will. And I'm going to use Friction Resistance to use Speed Cyclone to stun Klaw. And then I'm going to thwart for 2 off of this scheme here to drop it to 1. And that's all I can do. So I'll ready and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. 3 threat on here, because 1 normal, 1 for the acceleration, and 1 for this. Nothing I can do about that, though. I think I did the best I could last time with what I had. He doesn't attack because he's stunned, and he will get an armored guard. So I was ready to start doing some damage to Klaw, and an armored guard comes into play with 3 hit points and tough. But that's okay, I do have a piercing strike, so let me think about what I want to do, and then we'll move into Quicksilver. Okay, well the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to use Piercing Strike with energy. So I'll remove the tough. I'm hitting the guard, remove the tough, deal the 3 damage to him. And that is why I think I put 3 copies of Piercing Strike in. And I did it mainly for those guards, and it seems to be paying off for me. So I'm not going to, well, he'll end up getting stunned, but I don't think I'm going to get rid of this because there's some other things I want to do. I don't know, let me think about it. I might get rid of that. And I think I probably should. I don't want to get him stunned if I don't have to, so I'll use the physical, the mental, and an energy to get rid of this sonic converter. And then Quicksilver will thwart for 1. Well, actually for 2, but I only need 1 to get rid of that. And I'm going to use his normal ready ability. And then I'm going to thwart for 2 more off the main scheme to drop him to 1. And then I'm going to always be running to ready. And I think I'll just go ahead and thwart because I want to keep this as low as I can. Maybe next time I'm going to start putting a lot of damage on him because this is going to put 2 on here. And I don't want to lose to an advance or something. I know there's 1 advance here, but anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ready and then draw to 5. Okay, so starting the main villain phase. 1 threat or 2 threat on the main scheme. He'll attack, so Quicksilver will defend. I only get 1 defense though, but he's attacking with 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1 is 3, dropping him down to 7. Okay, and I'll ready Quicksilver. And the encounter card is Illegal Arms Factory. So we got another side scheme that I got to deal with here that will give me 2 encounter cards if I don't do something about it. And we're back to Quicksilver. All right, I don't want to deal with 2 encounter cards, so I'm going to thwart for 2 to drop this back down to 1, or drop it to 2, and then I'm going to use friction resistance to put in lie in wait just in case I get a minion and I can hopefully pop him right back out if he comes in. And then I'm going to ready Quicksilver with his regular ability and thwart for 2 more off of this scheme so that I can get rid of it. And I really wanted to do something about this, but I don't want to take 2 encounter cards. And then I'm finally going to get his accelerated reflex upgrade in with strength. And then I'll go ahead and use Piercing Strike. It is an attack, so I can use Yarnbjorn, and I do have my resource. So I'm going to Piercing Strike for 3 with Power of Aggression to pay for it. 3 over here, drop it down to 13. And then I'm going to use Friction Resistance for a physical resource for Yarnbjorn to drop him down to 11. And hopefully this scheme hopefully I don't get it in advance because this is going to go up to 4 out of 8. So let's hope that doesn't happen. So we're going to ready and draw to 5. Okay, this goes from 2 up to 4. I'm getting a little nervous because it always happens at this point when an advance comes out and there is 1 more in the deck. But there's nothing I can do about it if it comes out. I'm going to defend for 2. He attacks for 1. And the weapons runner will come in. And I'm going to use Lie in Wait, which after a minion engages you, discard Lie in Wait, deal 3 damage to that minion, and go ahead and do that. So he doesn't have to, I don't have to worry about him. And by the way, he won't surge because he came in as a boost. That was 1 boost card. And then good, there's advance. So I won't lose on this turn. That is good news. And so yes, it was 1. The weapons runner was 2. The weapons runner was 1 boost. This is a boost. He only does 1 damage. I have 2 defense. I don't take any damage already. And I do have an always be running. So if I have to, I'll defend again. The encounter card is Gang Up. So he is going to attack me again. I will go ahead and defend again. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 2 is 2. So I'm back down. I'm down to 5. So I'm exhausted going into my next turn, but that's okay. Like I said, I have always been running. So now it's time for me to go into Quicksilver's turn. Okay, I'm going to use spend friction resistance on always be running to ready Quicksilver. And after you ready Quicksilver, you can ready friction resistance, and I still have his regular ability 1. Okay, I'm going to thwart for 2 on the scheme, drop it down to 2, and then I'm going to ready No, I'm not ready just yet. I'm definitely going to double time. I'm going to double time for 1, and Earth Mightiest Heroes is 2. So I'm going to remove 2 threat from his scheme, and then 2 damage to him, dropping him to 9. All right, that'll work. And then now I'm going to ready him with his actual ability. And I could flip and heal, or I could do some damage. I've got 5 hit points, and I really do want to get some damage on him. So I'm going to attack for 1, 2 damage, and then I'm going to use friction resistance for 2 more from here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, dropping him from 9 to 5. And then I'm going to flip to his alter ego, discard these 2 cards I have, draw 2 more, see what I get, Piercing Strike and Power of Aggression. Okay, well, that's not going to help me too much, but they'll be in my hand for next turn. So I'm going to ready and draw to 6. Okay, so 2 threat on the main scheme. He schemes for 2, 3, 4. So that's going to bring it up to 6 out of 8. All right, so 6 out of 8, and I know that he won't advance because they're both in the discard pile. So the encounter card though is Tiger Shark. Okay, anything but I'll deal with it. That's fine. I'll figure out a way to deal with it. He comes in with 6 hit points, and we're back to Quicksilver's alter ego. Okay, so we're back over here to his side, and I could discard 2 cards to draw 2, but I'm going to keep out what I have and use what I have, I think. I will use Serval Industries, though, to put 2 Quicksilver cards back into his, shuffle back into his deck. And I'm going to put shuffle back in Speed Cyclone and an Always Be Running. Okay, and so I've shuffled that back. I am going to heal him back up to 8. 5 to 8, and then I'm going to flip him to Quicksilver and use friction resistance to let him always be running, to ready him. And I'm going to put in maximum velocity. Remove some stuff down here. I'm going to put in maximum velocity with 1. And with always be running for 2, I guess. And then, because I want to use these other cards for other stuff, so I'm going to hit Tiger Shark for 4, dropping him down to 2, because maximum velocity gives me 4. And then I'm going to use Power Aggression as a physical resource to hit Klaw actually for 2. I changed my mind. I'm going to use the physical resource from Power Regression on Tiger Shark for Yarnbjorn over here. So he's going to go from 3 back up to 5. Give him his 2 hit points back. So those 2 hit points will go over here to Tiger Shark. And I don't think I get to use Chase Them Down because it does say after a hero attacks and defeats an enemy, remove 2 threat from his scheme. But Yarnbjorn isn't an attack, and that's actually what defeated him, so I don't think I can use Chase Them Down. So just to be safe, I won't. But then I'm going to ready Quicksilver and Thwart for 4 over here to drop it down to 2. And I could Piercing Strike, but I really want to save that from when he goes to a side 3 and gets the tough, and I can just ignore his tough. Excuse me. So in case I get a minion, I'll hold on and Chase Them Down. So I'm going to ready and draw to 5. Okay, it goes from 2 up to 4 over here. I'm going to defend, and I've got a defense of 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. So he'll attack for 1. Exhaust each ally control. Don't have one, so still 1, 2, 3. All right, and then another acceleration token. Let me go get one of those. All right, and so here's another acceleration token. In every game that I've played with Quicksilver, I've played 4 games with Quicksilver aggression against Expert Klaw. And by the way, I'm 2-2. This is my 5th game. So this is kind of a best of 5, 5th game of a best of 5, and I hope I can win. It's tight. But anyway, every game I think he's gone through his deck twice. I don't know why that is, but he has. So I'm going to shuffle the encounter deck. Alright, so I've reshuffled the deck. It's time to draw the encounter card. Please don't be in advance. You'd think of all these cards, it won't. But with my luck, it probably will be. The encounter card is an Armored Guard. I'll take it. As long as it's not advanced, it gives me another chance. And we are back to Quicksilver. By the way, I'm going to ready him because I defended. So I readied him, and now we're back to Quicksilver. Alright, so we're back to him, and I'm going to use my Piercing Strike, but not on Klaw side 3 like I wanted to. I'm going to use it to get rid of this Armored Villain. So I'm going to use Piercing Strike with Genius, and I'll remove the Tough, hit him for 3, so he's out of the way. And then I could use Chase Him Down, but I'm not going to because I need that as a resource. So I'm going to put in Maximum Velocity with Friction Resistance for 1 and Chase Them Down for 2. Alright, and then I'm going to attack for 4. No, I'm going to thwart for 4. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 to get this down to 0. And then I'm going to use his regular ability to ready him. Alright, so I've used his ability. Now I'm going to attack for 4. For 4... which will drop him to 1. Alright. And I will go ahead and use Friction Resistance. The 1 energy resource, or the physical resource for this, it's going to hit him for 2, which will drop him to 0. So that's going to move him to side 2. And, you know, I could have used that to ready him again, but I'm not sure if I would have defeated him and dropped him to 0, can I go ahead and move him to side 3 and then use this 2 damage to take off the Tough? I'm not sure if I can do that, but I'll save this for next time and hopefully get some more damage off next time. So he comes back up to 22. He comes in with a Toughness. And let's see. I don't think... I got plenty of defense. I can't really flip. There's too much that goes on the scheme now. So I'm going to ready and draw to 5. Let's see if I have enough of the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I've got to deal myself an encounter card, and I'll shuffle up his deck and move to the villain phase. Okay, the deck's been reshuffled. 3 threat here now on the main scheme. He's going to attack for 2, but I've got a defense of 4, so I think I'll be okay. 2, 3, yep, just 3. So he doesn't take any damage. I'll ready him. And now I got to deal with 2 encounter cards. And the first one's going to be Masters of Evil. Side scheme again. And now if I don't do something with that, it's going to put 4 threat at the start of the phase. So I have to do something about that. Alright, let's discard till we get a Masters of Evil. And it is going to be Tiger Shark. And then... Sonic Boom, either spend those or exhaust each character you control. I want to be able to, I don't want to do that, so I'll just exhaust him. And Maximum Velocity comes out of the game. And we are back to Quicksilver. Okay, we're going to use Friction Resistance to always be running. And ready Quicksilver. We're going to attack for 2. And then Friction Resistance, the physical resource, we're over here to get it 4 down to 6 to 2. And then I'll ready Quicksilver again, but use his ability this time. All right, I'm going to need to thwart for 2 on this side scheme here because I don't want any more acceleration tokens that I need. Then I'm going to put in Wasp with a Moment of Triumph, which only gives her 1 hit point, and the only purpose that she has is actually to thwart for 1 to get rid of this Masters of Evil side scheme. So she'll leave the game. And then I can't take out Tiger Shark right now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Speed Cyclone. And I'm going to spend one physical resource for 1 and She-Hulk for 2 so that I can stun Klaw and Tiger Shark. Hopefully get them out of the game next time, because this is going to go up to 6 out of 8. So I had to get rid of that Masters of Evil, I think. It's getting tough. I'm going to ready and draw to 5. Okay, so 3 threat on the main scheme. It's at 6 out of 8. He's stunned. Tiger Shark is stunned. If this is an advance, it's over. It's not. It's Whirlwind. So I got another minion to deal with, but I'm still alive. We're back to Quicksilver. All right, back to Quicksilver, and I've got a terrible hand for this right now, but I have to deal with what I have. I'll deal 2 damage to Tiger Shark, and then use my friction resistance to deal 2 damage to Whirlwind, dropping him from 6 to 4. Okay, and oh, by the way, I'm going to use Chase Them Down after I defeat Tiger Shark to take 2 threat off the scheme. It's going to go from 6 down to 4. And then I'm going to ready Quicksilver with his regular ability and deal 2 more damage to Whirlwind, dropping him to 2. And then use friction resistance for the physical resource to get rid of him. All right, and then I'm going to always be running, use Earth's Mightiest Heroes for that, to pay for that. It'll ready him. I'm going to thwart for 2 to drop it from 4 down to 2. And that's all I can do, I think. So I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay, start of the main phase. We put 3 on here, so it's going to go from 2 up to 5. He's going to attack. I do have attack for 2. I got a defensive 2. He attacks for 2. Weapons runner comes in. 3, 4, 5. Minus 2 is 3, so I'm down to 5. I'll take the 1 from the weapons runner, I guess, who comes in with 2. All right, they're going to ready him. And the encounter card is Sonic Boom. Either spend those resources or exhaust each character you control. I'm gonna exhaust him. So I live to fight another turn. So here we are, back to Quicksilver. And the first thing I'm going to do is Piercing Strike with Power of Aggression. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to remove this tough and deal 3 damage. He's down to 19. Okay. And then I don't have a... Well, I can ready him. There is a way I can ready him. But I'm going to have to use Hulk to do it. So I'm going to use 1 and Scarlet Witch for 2 to put Hulk into play. He'll come in with 5 hit points. I'm going to use Earth's Mightiest Heroes to exhaust Hulk, who is an Avenger, and ready Quicksilver. And you know what? I know I'm at 4 hit points, but I've got to start doing some damage. He only does 1. I think I'm just going to hit Klaw for 1. Well, I'll do 2 damage to the weapons runner. And then friction resistance for Bjorn because I attacked to drop him down to 17. Okay, so I readied him earlier with Earth's Mightiest Heroes, so I still have his 1 free ready from his ability, so I'll do that. And I've got to thwart for 2 because if I put 3 on here right now, I'll lose. I'll thwart for 2 to drop it down to 3. And it's going to bring it up to 6 out of 8. If I get an advance, I'm going to lose, but that's probably going to be the case anyway. Not much I can do about it. I've got to do the best I can. Let's see what happens. I'm going to ready and draw to 5. All right, start of the main phase. Put 3 on here. It's 6 out of 8. Hulk is going to take the attack. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm glad I did that. He's gone, but I'm still alive. Didn't take that off. The encounter card is Shadow of the Past. And I think that's it because I'm pretty sure that's the game. There's 6 on here. And Avalanche puts on Insight 2 when he comes in. So that's going to be 8, and even the side scheme puts on 1 and be a 9. So that's it. I lose the game. Well, that's Quicksilver aggression against Klaw, and I know I lost the game, and I've played 5 games with Quicksilver aggression against Klaw Expert, and I'm 2-3 against him. So I've lost more than I've won. Maybe that's partly me. Maybe it's partly how the cards came out. I mean, not much I can do about that. But, you know, I have won a couple games with this deck, and I do think Quicksilver aggression is still a good deck. It's just, you know, Klaw is tough. But I like Quicksilver. I think he's a good character. I think he's strong. He's not up to the level of Doctor Strange and Captain America probably, but that's okay. You know, he's a character that he's fun to play. He can beat tough scenarios with aggression. I've done it. You just haven't seen it. And, you know, I'll have to do a playthrough with Justice or something to really show him off. Something, you know, an aspect that's a little bit better in solo than aggression. I mean, aggression's getting better in solo because of the cards that are coming out, but it's still not as good, in my opinion, as Justice and Leadership. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll know when any future games I have are coming out. And until they do, I'll save you a seat at the table. Bye.